talk today about your liver. Yes, your liver. The only time you really think about it is when you, quote unquote, socially drink. I love to read patients' medical history, and when we get to that section where we ask, are you a drinker? Well, if you say yes, then we say, how many drinks do you have daily or weekly or occasionally? I find a lot of patients say, oh, I only drink occasionally. So now I've started asking, how occasional is occasional? You know what I mean? So, very interesting thing. When we were being taught about how to find out alcohol use history, right, in medical school, we were told that, you know, when a patient tells you they have one drink, just double it. If they tell you they have two, double it. Because truthfully, most people have more alcohol drinks than they admit to really have. Or they might call it a tall glass or little glass, or, you know, we find ways around it. So when I get to that section where I'm reading about someone's alcohol intake, one of the things that we typically see written down is, yeah, I'm a social drinker. And that's okay if social really means that you go out maybe once or twice a month and have a glass, right? But for most people, socially might be nightly, right? And it's not just a glass for dinner, you know, it's a couple. And we have to start thinking about the health of your liver. Okay, so the liver doesn't get as much attention as a lot of other organs in the body. Because, you know, unlike the heart, you know, we've got, you know, cardiologists that you have to see that make sure your heart is healthy. We check your blood pressure every time you come in the office to make sure your heart is healthy. For example, we don't typically focus on it like we focus on the kidneys and, you know, try to get your kidney filtration numbers and make sure that they're okay. The liver just seems to be this organ that we know it's important, but we don't bring much attention to it until something really wrong shows up in the blood work. So, but in my practice, I usually encourage my patients to detox their liver at least once a year. And why do I do that? Why do I tell patients to detox their liver? And what do I really mean by detox? Right? I'm not assuming everybody is an alcoholic, right? What I mean by that terminology detox is actually something we need to explain. When most people think of detox, you're thinking of someone that's an alcoholic that needs to go somewhere and do a little bit of a dry season and stuff like that. That's not what I mean. The natural detoxification process of the body is actually one of the major functions of the liver. This gland, organ, is one of the most important organs in your body. Equally as important as your brain, equally as important as your heart. Why? Because did you know that your liver actually has to process every toxin that comes into your body? It has to process every drug that you take. It's involved in the process of how your body regulates sugar. It's involved in the process of your body making cholesterol. It's involved in the process of your body making bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. Did you know that? And did you know that this liver is also important for making some proteins in your body? So this organ is a very, very important organ. It does a ton of stuff. And when the liver is not working right, oh my God, you will know, right? One of the most common things we're seeing nowadays with the liver is that people are storing too much fat in the liver. And when the body is carrying excess weight, it starts to then look for new places, right, to store it. And one of the places it likes to store fat, as we all know, is around the belly, right? So we get fat around the belly and then we're calling it big gut and making fun of it and wanting to cut it off and do all kinds of things. But it's also very important when we start seeing that belly fat growing to think about what is going on with my liver. because a lot of times your body takes some of that excess visceral bad fat and stores it in the liver. And it starts to cause something that we call fatty liver. And one of the most common signs that we see in the blood work that even clues us in that this is going on is an elevation in what we call the liver function test. So if you've ever looked at your blood test, and there is a couple of tests that we see, they're called AST and ALT. When those numbers are elevated, they can be a sign that your body is starting to store fat in your liver. There could be signs of other viral infections and things like that, but a lot of times in a patient that has metabolic problems, excess body weight, we are seeing more fatty liver as the cause of this elevation than ever. So when I'm telling my patients to detox, what I'm saying is we have to remove those things that we know stimulates the growth of this type of fat in your liver, right? And one of the biggest things is alcohol intake, right? Alcohol is a toxin as far as your liver is concerned, and it's going to stop everything it's doing. When you introduce alcohol, your liver stops everything and tries to process that alcohol quickly out of your system, because it knows that that alcohol can be damaging to a lot of things in your body, your brain, your heart, your kidneys, and so on. So the liver goes into a process of trying to get that out of the system right away. But while the liver is doing that, guess what it's not doing? It's not doing all those other things that I just told you the liver is supposed to be doing, right? Processing your hormones, making cholesterol, helping you with, bile production, synthesizing proteins, and, regulating blood sugar. It's got to put all those things aside and worry about the alcohol intake that you just had, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that, yes, I tell my patients to detox once a year, which is, yes, go really low on your alcohol intake. If possible, stop it for a while and let your liver get some few weeks of micronutrients, things that are going to help it heal, because the liver itself also has to heal, right? We throw a bunch of nutrients in there. These are natural nutrients we find in food, natural foods. Things like milk thistle, right? Things like B vitamins, vitamin C, magnesium, right? We throw a lot of this into the body to then let the liver heal itself so it can continue to function for you for the rest of the year, right? But we cannot allow it to heal if we're still throwing toxins at it, right? Because it's got to stop and process that toxin. So at least once a year, I encourage my patient, whether it's 30 days, whether it's 6 weeks, whether it's a couple of months, where they really, really go low on this intoxication and let the liver detoxify itself. Because once that liver is functioning and that liver is not congested, guess what's going to be better balanced? Well, your hormones. Guess what's going to be better balanced? Well, your blood sugar. Guess what's going to be better balanced? Your cholesterol and your blood sugar and the way blood flows in your body, right? And even the medications that you're taking for other health conditions will work better, because now the liver has the chance to actually process it and turn it into the right type of metabolite that is supposed to go into your body and do what it needs to do. So what is the point? We gotta have a dry season every now and then, okay? And yes, tell me the truth on your history form, how many drinks you really take, okay? See you on the next one.